Okay, next on our agenda is Dave McIntosh from CLMP, and he's going to talk about some energy efficiency programs and funding possibilities.
I've been working in the energy business for about 12 years, 15 years with, or 15, almost 25 years. Actually, when I go back and talk about that, I built buildings and got involved with that. So I wanted to give you a little bit of background. So I've been with CLMP for almost 15 years now, and it's been a wild ride. And it's very interesting that you can get money to do the right thing. And, you know, you're told how to do a lot of different things and you don't get any money. Here, you're going to get money to do the right thing. And by example, you might even get 50% of that. So, I don't know why people aren't beating down the door. And we've got a lot of different monies that are available to get this stuff done. So, we're here to help. Does anybody have any questions before I get started? And I don't know what's going to happen with the hurricane season, so it's all everybody's best bet. So the Energized Connecticut is the new brand to move things along, and the icon is down at the bottom of the screen there, and you can see that we're trying to step up the bar, and with Lynn's ESPC process, which is the Energy Savings Performance Contracting process, that should help get more stuff done, and the talent and the wave of ability that's behind that. So, new name, great, same great programs. It's a different cereal box, but same good stuff. Commissioner Estes really put the point down that this is a triple savings, triple benefit for everybody in the state of Connecticut. So, it's to their taxpayers, to the air, to the environment, everything that's going on, produces jobs. I mean, so it's all positive events. So I don't know if I need to get over that. And you pay into the program. So get the money back out. 3 mils for every cent per kilowatt hour that's been consumed in the state of Connecticut. And now with the new legislation, there's an opportunity to go a little bit higher to provide more funding to help with the projects. There's also natural gas. You may not be aware, but if you're in a different territory, SNEG or CNG, the local utility will be the one who is helping you with the program processes. Okay. So there's $35 million at CLMP and $6 million at UI right now, and then the gas values are shown there. Those are the incentive dollars. Those are almost doubled going into 2014. Now, we're usually really good about getting all this money back into the hands of the ratepayers in projects that have created savings, created jobs, provided new technology out there, and we do that year after year. So our charge is to give you money to do the right thing and find the right projects. So there is nothing slowing us down at CLMP or UI or any of the gas companies to provide you the maximum incentive for the right equipment for the right project. Nothing. It doesn't affect us in any way, financially or anything, just to make sure you understand. There is a $1 million cap. I dare you to try to get there. That's $1 million of incentives. Okay, there are quite a few that have actually done that, but I dare you. Bring it to us, and we'll work it out. And that's a year. So if you got $2 million, maybe it's some phasing that needs to be done. So we can work that out. So, but I dare you to get there. Now a little bit about the programs. There's basically 3 different programs, and I'll speak to those. As Lynn had pointed out, there's the standard diet of stuff that we definitely look at and definitely would like to see in your projects, your ESPC projects, and or your larger projects or your smaller projects. These are some of the list of items here. Lighting efficiency, efficient lighting control. We don't see enough really good occupancy sensor strategies. We don't see enough of the daylighting strategies that when you're doing a lighting change out that you want to make sure that that stuff's embedded. HVAC equipment. There's a myriad of different opportunities that are out there. So, and then there's the controls that go along with that. So we're available free of charge to talk about that, and we can talk to different incentives that are available for add-on controls to new equipment that you may want to get, especially if you're replacing it. It went out on that summer day and you got to go get a new piece of equipment. Pick up the phone or dial us up on the web and take a look at the rebate forms, because they're out there to get some money to make the right choice. Please do that. Building envelope, we're working with that. That obviously most of the savings would be in heating. We interface with gas incentives, so talk to us about that. If you're involved in a project, we can tell you pretty much what everybody's doing. Can't tell you who's doing it, but we can tell you what's going on and what the best opportunities are. So that's what that resource is. And you're paying for it, so please use it. Gas boilers, anybody know what VFDs are? Yeah. Okay. Anybody with variable frequency drives, right? And so this really, if you've got a motor that's running all the time 100%, what this does is add a control on it so that it can modulate. And it modulates the frequency to the drive so that you can save energy when it doesn't need to be running at full speed. Okay? So, we answer a lot of questions, so please don't be shy. If there's anything on this screen or any of these screens, please let me know. I'm more than happy to explain them. Now, little case study. Everybody's about the money, of course, and there are savings, and there's benefits in saving the energy. But really, that turns into dollars, and dollars go to the bottom line. And manufacturing and/or retail or whatever, it's a very big multiple. So here, this Two Roads Brewing Company did a number of different measures: air compressors, high-efficiency refrigeration, refrigerated air dryer for the compressed air systems, high-efficiency, high-pressure boiler system for the manufacturing process, and a radiant heating system for the floor for that. Incentive was close to $250,000. Their annual savings over $185,000. Pretty solid project, and a good CCF savings here. So I would suggest that the return on investment was fairly quickly, and they were very excited. And that supported a customer to stay in the state and be profitable and pay their electric bill. That's the joke. Prescriptive rebates. This list is consistently changing and growing. So I would recommend that you please get on our website, just tour it and find where the rebates are. You can type in rebates. It'll take you to a page, and you can see what's available out there. So if you're replacing anything, it's going to give you guidance on what you can get money for. Obviously, if you can get money for it, it's probably the better choice, which is why we have the programs, instead of just getting the off-the-shelf item. Okay. If there's a question on the rebate form, there's a call number that you can make, or you have a question about the equipment, we're available. A large number of the vendors are understanding of this, but if anything sounds like it's not right or too good to be true or whatever, we're here to help answer those questions. Okay. Are there any questions? Now, I know there's not a lot of new construction going on, but existing buildings there is. There's a lot of work going on in there. There's pent-up demand trying to get work done because of the deferred maintenance activities and so forth, and then you have to replace it. And we're very interested in when you get to the I have to replace it time frame decision mark, because you want to make that right decision. That piece of equipment could be there for 25 years or more. So you want to just a little bit of effort is going to go a long way. Incentives in the existing building environment, which are efficient lighting, lighting controls, and so forth, pretty much the same menu. We get up to 40% of the install cost. And if you do go into a comprehensive project, like the gentleman with the energy savings performance contract, he was able to obtain 50% of the install costs, which really can highly impact the project, make it look better, much better. So we're looking for those deep savings, as Commissioner Estes had mentioned, and that's why we pay more or have a bigger opportunity for comprehensive. We want to see as many different measures, and measures are, as you see in the green box, items that address those items. Okay. Matter of property management. Here, commercial property, a lot of commercial property management companies around. They added controls and put in radiant control valves and integrated them into the EMS system to get better control over how their building operated. Lots of stuff out there like this. Difficult for a property manager to go ahead and say, and really I would venture to say that everybody in this room is a property manager in effect. So difficult to get control over your building. So there's really no sense in putting energy efficiency equipment in if you don't control it properly. I mean, you can put energy efficiency light in and let it run 24 hours a day, but why? So we can help you with different strategies to get there. So we've pretty much seen a lot of it, if not all of it. So annual savings pretty low. Total cost, they got an incentive somewhere in the 40% mark, but it's a 4.1-year payback. Now, we don't have the ROI on here, but if this was money in the environment where you're putting in money in your savings account, what would that 4.1-year return on investment be? 25% APR? It's almost illegal.
Question. On the incentive piece, you guys, I would assume you set forth a budget every year. Incentives may be for certain projects that you might anticipate from the state. What happens if those projects exceed your expectations and incentives, you notice that incentive number begin to drive higher than you anticipate? Do you slow down projects for the year, or will you slow down the initial incentives that you may have thought would have been there from the beginning?
That's a great question. That's been a big question in the past, and theoretically should not be a question in the future. Due to the new structure in the law, they've allowed us to have a CAM, a conservation adjustment mechanism, that allows for the budget to meet the demand. So that's really key. And a lot of conversation around not changing incentives, creating a stable marketplace for incentives so people can plan. These are long-term decision processes. So with that, they've changed it so that they've allowed for this base incentive, base budgeting to be available, and then allowed for CAM to follow that.
Yeah, because part of my question was, when you begin to apply those incentives, would those incentive numbers be affected by where you stand in your year? So if you're year-end and you apply for a project in April, you're less apt to reach the incentive number you think to, as opposed to applying for the project back in August.
The basic answer to that is no. Restating the question the way I understand it is that you're concerned whether we would then change incentives to a different customer. So going back to what I said earlier, we don't want to do that. It's not something we like to do because we understand customers sort of counting on a certain amount of incentive. So if you look back now for the past 24 months or more, the incentives has been stable at this design. We intend to do that going forward to the best of our abilities, for going any kind of issues that may be brought to us by other parties. But we're also going to be doing, hopefully in the future, which is going to get announced later, and I don't know exactly when as far as how we do this, but we will be moving to an incentive program for incentives, which is basically a initiative program where we see technologies that are a benefit and we need to add more. And we're doing that sort of behind the scenes too now with the lighting and LED systems. So we provide more of an incentive for high performance lighting. So that's part of it. So you're going to see more of that starting to come up. So we're going to be focusing on certain areas. It might be sectors, but the platform or the base incentive will remain the same, the 40%, the 30% in the lighting and so forth. And we'll have, you might say, specials, I'd hate to say, but, that kind of focus. Should we pray that that not be the case, yes. So, barring any kind of, major changes from the will of the state and so forth. Any other questions at this point? Okay. Small business energy advantage may be an option if you've got a very small site, under 200 kW, and this is a low interest or zero interest loan, and it's paid on the electric bill, so it sits in the expense environment. So it's a good way to do sort of a mini ESPC project. So that's one opportunity, and so there is, if you have a small municipal building or whatever, that might work. So if you feel like you don't have the right mix, this might be the piece of the menu that you might want to look at. So they'll look at everything, mostly lighting. The guys and ladies who operate the businesses here are mostly lighting. We're available, I'm available, I have other energy engineers who are available that can sort of talk you through what kind of questions you want to ask if you have, you've decided to go down this route. So you can make sure you maximize, get a deep operation thing going. Comprehensive program is also available here in a small business. Yes? Yes, that's correct. And they have base pricing, and it's all been set up. So it's a turnkey process because we realize that in the smaller environments, they don't have the talent to manage projects and so forth. So this has all been assembled for the what we might call the mom and pop team, and at smaller organizations, small business. It does not. This is conservation I'm specifically talking about, which would mean that we're saving energy, not producing it. That's where this particular fund is. The CFIA will have or has opportunities in that area, or you'll have to go through a solar challenge or something like that. Okay. Business energy and sustainability. This is the hat I usually wear. This we like to lovingly call the miscellaneous bucket. So I'm responsible for the retrocommissioning program, prime O&M services, and training and outreach. I'm doing a little outreach now. So this is once you've got everything done, and I would ask when you're done with your ESPC or your PC contract that you come talk with us and see what kind of trimming of the sails may need to be done around what was delivered, because there may be some opportunities there, and we would talk to that. It's about also behavioral programs, how to get to a higher level of savings through the assets that you have. It's not a replacement program of equipment. It's not a capital replacement program. It's more about the management and the process around how you're dealing with energy. Retrocommissioning is a good example of that. If you have a good EMS system in place, the building's over 100,000 square feet, we will bring in a talented engineering team that will look at the way it's being programmed and the way it functions, provide a report and support in the municipality environment. The CEF will actually pay for, help support the investigation part, which is fairly technical. There's also training that's involved in that, so you understand what happened to the EMS system and what you want to do to fix it. So if you have those foundations in place, we would love to talk with you. I put some stuff on the table over there, so please take it with you and give me a call when you feel most appropriate. There's also an application on the web and some more additional information out there so you can do some perusing beforehand. It's not a simple process. It does take a while. It will take at least 18 months to get from beginning to end, but I guarantee you, you will learn how your building operates. Greenwich Hospital entered the program As you can see, a smiling customer, we like those. 120,000 square foot building in Greenwich, very complex. And we had like 35 measures or more in this particular site. This gentleman was very energetic in moving forward. We had to ask him to please hold back and not implement any of these, because I need to capture these savings. I need to account for it through the program, and there's a whole mess of stuff I need to do administratively when we get involved with a customer. And he was so energetic, he started fixing everything and fixing the controls and fixing this and fixing that, and we weren't able to totally catch everything that what actually happened. But he did take this facility from, I think it was a 65 Energy Star to an 86. So it was a really powerful program for him. And as you can see, the payback there was under a year. And a lot of this stuff was very inexpensive. We went 50-50 almost with them on this particular project. So and a lot of fun too, because everybody's learning, everybody's getting results. And you can see it on the bill, and the more you see, the more you want to do, and well, it just keeps me really busy. Process reengineering, not quite here, but this is an area that we tinker in with manufacturers. And it's a lean program. And we're going to be expanding this for manufacturing into 2014 with new items. And so if you have any family members or associates that are in manufacturing or you're related to that, please make sure they're aware that there's a program out here that provides support in understanding and doing lean. We'll do 2 free events with a lean consultant who can help streamline your process in the manufacturing area. So, and then two more events at 50%. The events cost around $7,000 to give you some scale. Again, another very successful program. A lot of smiling faces behind this one. Operations and maintenance, miscellaneous area. If you've got something you can't get done, fits this classification, please give me a call. We'll talk about it. We might find another solution over it, but mostly in this program what we're doing is fixing steam traps. Steam traps could also be in the energy performance contracting process. New boilers could be in that. Compressed air systems in manufacturing, big deal. We do a lot of that. And tune-ups for EMS systems. A little different than the RCX program. Training and outreach. If you're not familiar, there are a number of free seminars that if you're not attending or haven't signed up for, it's paid for by you guys through the fund. You should take advantage of them because they educate on lighting, compressed air, behavioral change opportunities, and commissioning. That's just the short list. So if you're not attending these or aware of them, please sign up. You'll get a email blast when it comes out, and you can make a choice on whether you want to go to it. It's free. Usually some coffee and donuts at the beginning of and I think they have fruit too, so for those who don't want that. Financing. Well, if you can't get financing or you're having trouble getting the job done, and I really have to explain at this point why you're not doing it, I don't know why. So we have tried to take care of and remove any barrier to get this stuff done. Lynn spent a lot of time in putting together contracts on the larger side and getting it all assembled and embedded so that it's one standard. And then not even that, got the ESPC group, the ESCOs to agree to the contract. So that is all done for you. So, but we have muni loans up to $100,000, which have been, and it's a 0% rate. So who can argue? So 4 years, CNI. There's a couple different options out there. Pura has for very, very large projects. $1 million available in different things at 1% below prime. 10 years on that money, so that's not bad. So, CPACE, quick note on this. If you're not familiar with this, this is about This, I guess one way to explain this would be the energy services performance contract on the commercial side in some respects. It provides a complete packaging and financial model for commercial properties, the property managers, and helps to keep the capital expenditures off their books and turns it into a tax assessment piece. This was written into the law to try to get more conservation moving forward in those environments where building managers don't really have a piece of concern in the energy management or cost of their energy because they turn it over to the people who are leasing the building. But in this case, what happens is it makes their asset more valuable. So that's the basic game there. And if your town isn't signed up for CPACE, I recommend you consider getting signed up so that your commercial properties have an opportunity to use that if they choose. Important reminders, and the very first bullet is the first concern of ours. I think, if you're going to plug something into the wall, if you're going to tie it to an electric circuit or take gas or even oil and use it, pick up the phone, give us a call, and find out, what's going on in the world there. There might be other options than what your vendors are providing as solutions. So just we're sounding boards, we're there for you. So I want to emphasize that we're a non-concerned interest as far as all that goes, so we're good for that. Letters of agreement, we put together a letter of agreement for each individual project. Some of them are rebates, and letters of agreements are incentives. So we've agreed to what the cost is and the savings are and what the incentives are. And that'll have some milestones in it. They have a tendency sometimes to move. That's okay. We can deal with that. We just want to be advised. And then if there's project scope changes, obviously that would tie back to the way the measures is set up. The measure be what equipment's being installed and so forth, or the strategy. Then we should be advised that there's been a change, and we'll see whether or not that has any effect on your incentive. Okay. Project closeout, depending on the type of the project, the letter of agreement will identify what kind of information is necessary so that we can administratively close and publish a check for you. All right? Looked like there might be some questions on that. No? Yes? No, they're the same. Yes. And the energy services project, can you help me with where you made that connection? Right. Oh, okay, the municipal program, in effect, yes. That was an extension of the small business program, which are those contractors who had given us fixed pricing for specific Measure Act applications, and does not reach to all the different subject matters that Lynn's program has. So I'm sorry thank you for the clarity. They are different, and they fit different sectors. Okay. So you'll be able to pick up with Lynn's ESPC program much more stuff than what would be picked up in the Small Business Energy Advantage program process. Are there any other questions that may not have been clear on? Okay. Residential programs, obviously regular diet. We have home energy solutions, income eligible for that. Residential new construction, which looks for Energy Star construction practices. Retail products, when we go down to Home Depot and Lowe's and all the other stores, you may see the Energized Connecticut logo there, and that logo shows what the fund is helping support, bringing the prices down on that at point of sale, as we call it. And then heating and cooling systems, ground source heat pumps, ductless heaters, water heaters, and so forth. All that comes out of our residential program processes. So if you're working on your house or replacing any equipment, there may be an opportunity for a rebate on that. Or if you're building a new construction, then you really should talk with our new construction team. There's incentives available for building at a certain rate and quality, and you will enjoy those savings over years. It also gives the house a good resale value. So my contact information here and Glenn Ego and Rich Aslin are the other two program leads. Randy handles small business. The numbers are here. If you have any questions on the small business program, feel free to give Randy a call. Finance, there's contact information, residential programs, natural gas. Matt Fox handles most of that. Rich, Glenn, and myself sort of jump back and forth on the gas and electric processing. So if he happens not to be available, you're welcome to call any of us. And then, of course, if you have an account executive, which should be assigned to your town, good place to start. If you have a capital project process that's going through and you have a list of capital program, contact the account executive, get this sort of into the mill so the conversation starts and everything can sort of move down the row. UI has a sort of mirror image of people who help support the same program processes. So their contact information is here. If you happen to be in UI territory, please contact them. And if you have any other additional questions, I'd be more than happy to handle those now.